See, that one dinosaur classification also is another thing. How you know the animal is dinosaur or not dinosaur? Example, crocodile. They literally have prehistoric trait. Their what you call it, the scales, the way the body is. How you know that is not dinosaur? And if I'm not mistaken, mosquito was also present.
Yeah.
So what makes you say that mosquito is not a dinosaur?
Komodo dragons are also,
Yeah. One time comes
yeah, fast.
run, bro. I am Daddy Vibes.
I am Baby Q.
And we are Cookie Max. Second.
Oh, you go to future already,
Then he, abang. I said, bro. I said, that's right, bro. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the number one bedtime podcast in your hearts. We are who we are?
Cookie Max 啦。
大家好，帮我 like， 帮我 share， 帮我 subscribe， Cookie Max， 谢谢。刚刚咕哩咕哩。
Actually, what does 刚刚咕哩咕哩 mean?
The variety show always say like that.
So that means
I yet to ask my friends lah.
Okay, there's no meaning towards
it.
I
sure got meaning lah.
Okay. So, what are we gonna
say in Tamil? You tekan me, right?
நண்பர்களே எங்களுடன் ஒன்றாக இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் இணைந்திருக்கும் அனைவருக்கும் எங்களுடைய மனமார்ந்த வாழ்த்துக்களை நாங்கள் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறோம். தயவு செய்து
அன்புக்குரிய பயணிக்கவும்.
தயவு செய்து இதுக்கு கீழே இது கீழே இருக்கிற அந்த சப்ஸ்கிரைபு, அந்த லைக்கு, அந்த ஃபாலோ, அந்த ஷேரை வந்து எல்லாத்தையும் அமுக்குங்க. அந்த பெல் பட்டன் இருக்குல்ல, அதையும் அமுக்குங்க. பக்கத்தில் இருக்கிறவங்களோட ஒய்ஃபு, கேர்ள் ஃப்ரெண்ட் எல்லாத்தையும் அமுக்குங்க. அமுக்க முடிஞ்சதெல்லாம் அமுக்குங்க. ஓகே. எஸ்.
The shopkeeper.
You don't know what I say, right? Huh? I say press
your girlfriend.
Click like no, I never say that.
Just now you say wife.
That's what I say. Click, share, subscribe. Press the bell icon. Press your girlfriend beside you. Press your wife beside you.
Well done.
Yes. Okay. So what are we gonna touch about on today's topic?
Selamat datang tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Jangan lupa like, komentar dan subscribe.
What? Tar?
Kya hua hai? Kita adalah Cookie Max.
Nama dia Daddy Vibes.
Dan nama
saya
dia
Baby Q.
Dan kami adalah Okay, today we just want to speak about
ancestry.
Nice.
Yes. How did we come about? Why did we come about by coming?
Where did we come from? Yeah.
Yes.
When
did we come to Earth? Okay. So according to scientific statistics,
according to something that I heard before, the word fuck is an acronym.
Legit. Okay, what does it mean?
What I heard lah. It's fornication under the consent of the king.
Oh.
The fuck.
Oh, that's why fuck king
That one I don't know lah.
Maybe.
But fuck, that's what I heard lah before.
That is interesting. Possible because I know certain
all gathered from the Knights of the Round Table, is it?
No lah, as in certain communities in those ancient days where reproducing and fornication, all those things has to be approved by the king's committee of sorts. That I got here before. So it kind of makes sense lah for the acronym that you just mentioned.
Then Hang Nadim, no, different episode. Okay, yeah, so like humans we came, we saw, we conquered. Okay, take it away.
Yes. So according to what we have here, early human ancestors, okay? Human lineage diverges from that of chimpanzees and bonobos, our closest living relatives. This was 6 to 8 million years ago.
This is in line with Darwin's theory of evolution.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And then 4 to 5 million years ago, emergence of early human ancestors such as Ardipithecus ramidus in Africa. Okay, followed by 2.8 to 2.3 million years ago, appearance of Australopithecus afarensis, known for the famous fossil Lucy, which I'm sure many of us don't know, but please, if you don't know, go and Google. We will do likewise. Okay, so this is how the early human ancestors were known to have appeared in our globe.
Also, Lucy is an early Australopithecus dated 3.2 million ago. It's a Homo sapien, but it's shaped like a human. It's like a
Wait,
human.
Homo sapiens are humans, right?
Yeah, which includes primates, right? Homo sapien. So Lucy is the oldest human fossil. Used to be.
Wow. Okay, interesting fact. So yes, so basically that is how we came about. Like if you look at it in the Darwin evolution sort of way lah. But if you go back to in religious and
wait, I was thinking about something. So they find like Lucy like millions of years ago, but they cannot find Adam and Eve bones or the remains. Or last time they don't bury. Because the first humans they wasn't Muslim or they wasn't Christian, right?
Yeah, but then again, in accordance to
Or maybe they burn
religious Islamic texts, Cain and Abel, the offsprings of Adam and Eve, when if I'm not wrong, Cain murdered Abel, right?
But they all wasn't Muslim, right?
Yeah,
or
they
also wasn't Christians.
Yeah, they were not
free thinker.
I don't know what to call it lah. What you would call them lah. But according to religious texts, God taught Cain how to bury his brother by showing him a scene of a crow murdering another crow and then digging a grave, putting the dead crow inside and covering it up. So if you want to say like how last time maybe they never buried, but this is even then even from the very first prophet time itself already humankind itself already we were already taught how to bury lah.
Okay,
so yes, so your question kind of seems a bit valid. Like but legit they never found.
Right.
But
maybe
don't we have karamats for them?
Have
No, I'm just asking. I'm not really sure. Maybe if have also, maybe it's not. Maybe it's like more like a symbolism.
Yeah.
Rather than having the actual remains inside the grave itself lah. Possible
What about cannibalism?
Cannibalism.
So yeah, there's this island where I think there was this movie lah. I think it's still in YouTube. I think it's about this.
The Sentinelese.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think that's what, because yes, there is an island that is very extremely secluded away from humankind, where they call it the Sentinel Island. So the
got
people,
to do with Transformers. Sentinel.
No lah.
Sentinel Prime.
Maybe Sentinel Primates lah. Primates.
Walang putang ina.
Yeah, so the Sentinelists, so they do practice cannibalism, but it's more towards like the thing is they are so secluded and isolated from the rest of the world, right? Having any other human beings like
coming in, they won't be able to get out, right?
Yes,
something like that.
Yes, a lot of stories and a lot of news you can read about these people like how they are out of.
I don't blame them because they are not open to the outside world, and just like us, right? If like when we were kids, we were brought up in a certain way, and with a certain ideology. That's the only way that we know. And you further add to the fact that like that kind of island is just by itself, it's far away from everyone else. They don't have internet and stuff. They don't know how the outside world is.
Correct.
So they just practice whatever they are doing.
And do you know that island is actually guarded by, I can't remember which country or what, the whole island is actually guarded by people who protect. I can't remember under which organization lah, but some global organization that protects the island from people entering. The reason is because they have the Sentinelese people have already been so isolated from the world that having us people out of that area entering in, right? They are afraid that certain illnesses that we bring on that island could cause the wipeout of that whole the whole community there, because they are secluded. So for all they were secluded from the beginning of the time that they were there.
Correct.
So meaning to say, for all maybe they don't have such thing as cancer. Maybe they don't have such thing as AIDS or HIV or certain diseases that we in the modern parts of the world we have. Maybe they are not. They don't have it. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So having us intruding into that space could literally, for all maybe a small small fever or what that we bring to the island could actually wipe out these people. That is what the scientists say lah. So there's a reason why they actually are very protective of the place.
Okay, this sentinel, right? It's called, the people is from the Sentinelese tribe who live on North Sentinel Island, a territory of India. Have almost no contact with the world outside the island. There are only a handful of tribe members left, and their language is incompatible with that of neighboring islands.
That means they have their own set of language lah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But they also claim that they are not cannibal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is what they say lah. But then, yeah lah, like that lah. But maybe the one that I was referring to wasn't that island lah. So like, there's this group of YouTubers, not YouTubers lah, filmmakers that came over to the island, and then they actually survived this movie lah. Cannibalism Corpse. Don't know what's the movie name lah. Cannibal Corpse.
Cannibal Holocaust ah.
Yes. That one lah.
Okay, I had a feeling, but anyway, you cannot find it.
It's a 1988 film.
Yeah, I remember watching it in a illegal DVD during my secondary school days in one of my friend's house. So that movie actually kind of like traumatized me to the point that's why when you mentioned, I can already know which movie you're referring to. Cannibal Holocaust. So the last I checked, which is very long ago, like just random thought lah. This thought came to my mind. Hey, I got this movie. Okay, let's go and see what I can find. I could not find it all. Zero. The last I heard that you can only find it in the dark web or something like that lah.
I think you can find Reddit. You can find
Maybe.
Yeah. So interesting lah. Like we see, like they grow up with that kind of ideology. I mean, if they are cannibal lah, I'm sure there are like tribes that are still practicing this . And I ever saw on YouTube also, they eat the fetus of the child and stuff. Legit. Don't know what I'm consuming lah, but yeah,
like dead fetus are not say they purposely kill the.
That one I don't know lah. I watch to live the tale, to tell the tale to people that cannot digest all these kind of things.
Okay. So back to our topics. Okay,
okay, the thing about humans we know the starting of humans. Then we know about their migration. Their migration, how they migrated. Okay, don't talk about them with ancestry lah.
Incest lah. Ancestry.
We haven't talked, right?
Haven't.
That one. Okay, yeah. So I had a random thought lah. Of course, just now I was speaking to BBQ. Like, who is the one that actually put a full stop and drew a line and say incest is like ew, incest is frowned upon, when actually the early humans like the Adam and Eve time like Adam and Eve were two individuals, but yeah, they gave birth to children, and then from there is the children of Adam, right? But you imagine, like, their kids, their grandchildren, they suddenly what do you call it, make love with their grandfather or their uncle or with their auntie.
Okay lah. So
Okay lah.
from what I read here, yes,
Mm.
according to some interpretations of the Bible and Jewish tradition,
Mm.
Adam and Eve's children, including Cain, married their sisters because there were no other women available, and such marriages were permissible in those days.
Mm.
Interesting, which makes sense. I mean,
Yeah lah,
if
got nobody
there's
left.
no other way for you to
Mm.
procreate, that is the only thing you can do, right?
Correct
If
lah.
not, how are the
I mean, at that time lah.
yeah? So if not, how are we? How would we have existed if that did not happen? But to find the answer to this, like this one is more towards the Jewish and what do you call that? According to Bible and the Jewish tradition, this is what they explain lah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, they did it like that lah. But one thing that fascinates me is how everybody, like, we all came from the same source lah.
Mm-hmm.
So as to speak,
Mm-hmm.
children of Adam lah. But then like when the migration pattern came, right? Like at every continent where there were humans, they were all the people of color came about. Like how it happened, like for example, like okay, I know let's say mountainous area like Nepal, all this, because of the cold weather, then because of the cold weather, the mountainous area, then they, and the skin is like that lah. Then for example, like people of the island people, like for example Bali like that, or even last time the orang laut, so the skin was like super dark lah. Not say super dark lah. This distinct color lah. That this one is island people lah. Orang pulau.
Okay.
Then then you know about the fairer kind.
Correct.
Then you know about darker kind. But how it actually, like, but you see when we talk about the demography of a place the geography of a place, then it leads to that. But then this one is like sometimes, not sometimes lah. After that, the parents give birth, right? The mother give birth, automatically got that color. Because if you say that place is the one that helps you shape your color, but when you are born into the earth, you already have that color.
Correct.
Okay lah, maybe because of the genetics lah.
Mm.
Maybe lah. What do you have?
Okay, so because you were talking about the complexion, right? So I actually Googled were
Wow.
Adam and Eve black? Okay, that because a lot of our ancestors, a lot of our genetic makeup has black, actually African genes lah.
Oh yeah.
Right?
A
lot. So even now for us, we might have a small portion of it lah. So that was a thought that actually struck me. Maybe Adam and Eve were black.
Sekali Jamaican Malay.
Maybe who knows? Who knows? Okay, so clearly this is not the case. So by a process
African Indian maybe
of deduction, we can conclude that Adam and Eve were heterozygous, each having 2 dominant and 2 recessive genes, AABB. They would thus have been middle brown in color.
Oh, okay.
And from them, in one generation, the various shades of brown would have been produced.
So they are people of color lah.
Yes, according to what I read here lah.
And they were also larger actually.
And
taller.
Yeah.
Like maybe you are the last of the tall species.
Actually, if you come to think about it also, if you see nowadays young adults and even for school going children lah, primary school, secondary school, I've seen a lot, bro. Secondary, not midget
like me.
Secondary school kids, secondary 4, secondary 5. But bro, shorts, and people can easily mistake them for like maybe like even like primary school, like lower primary. They are that short.
Yeah.
So
maybe lah.
Maybe.
Like okay, like people of the past lah. From what we know, they live longer and they were also pretty much bigger and taller.
Correct. Like way taller and way bigger and way stronger lah.
Like giants may not even be a thing. Like it may be like everyone was like that.
It's just that maybe when you spot like someone really tall and gigantic, it's just maybe that the genes skipped a generation or what, and then they just became like that lah.
Now see anybody big and tall, straight call, hey giant.
Andre the giant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back to ancestry lah. What are your what else you have just now?
Okay.
Oh, just now the one we were saying, the Christian scholars were saying around 4,000 to 5,000 BCE. So that was like the timeline lah of when Adam and Eve roam around the earth. So at that point of time, dinosaur no more already lah.
Yeah. Or at least from correct.
You see, that one dinosaur classification also is another thing, no. How you know the animal is dinosaur or not dinosaur? Example, crocodile. They literally have prehistoric traits.
Traits, yes.
Their what you call it, the scales, the way the body is. How you know that is not dinosaur? And like even if I'm not mistaken, what you call it, the mosquito was also present.
Yeah.
So what makes you say that mosquito is not a dinosaur?
But it's an insect. What? How can you classify insects as?
Why cannot? Dinosaur is.
No, you can call them as creatures from prehistoric era lah. Like how we have classification of mammals and insects and what do you call that? Arthropods and what do you call reptiles?
Android box.
Reptiles and all those things. So mosquitoes, I don't think you can consider them as humans lah.
Yeah, a lot of reptiles have this prehistoric.
Yes, snakes, geckos and all. Komodo dragons. Komodo dragons are also
there's this island in Thailand or Indonesia, Komodo Island.
All full of Komodo dragons
full of that. One time come straight.
Yeah, fast.
Run, bro.
I got see before in when I was walking at Lakeside. Lakeside. Oh, bro, they run very fast. Yeah.
Don't see the body big, but because they are like sports car, they like F1 car. Big but then low CGI.
Correct. Okay.
Low CG.
So let's skip to genetic legacy lah. So this is called a mitochondrial DNA. Studies suggest that all modern humans share a common mitochondrial ancestor who lived around 150,000 to 200,000 years ago in Africa.
Oh, okay.
So the Y chromosome DNA, similarly, all humans share a common Y chromosomal ancestor who lived around 140,000 to 200,000 years ago in Africa. So which is why majority of us or even maybe all of us we do share some sort of genetic traits from the African ancestors in a way lah. And not just that. Another thing, just to sidetrack a bit, I also have heard that a lot of us also actually share the genetic traits of Genghis Khan. Meaning to say, because
that's why we fierce.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, so we share the genetic traits of Genghis Khan because at that point of time he had a humongous number of wives and a humongous number of kids, children and offsprings and all. So yeah, these are the two traits.
So what got to do with us?
No, I'm just saying because we are talking about how we came upon, right? How we can. So for that we need to understand our genetic mutations as well.
Actually, they sell genetic test
DNA
kits.
Test kit.
Interesting. I always wanted to buy, but and try lah. But waste money. Like you pay a lot.
It's actually expensive. No? It's not cheap. It's expensive.
It's not cheap. Like you buy, then you know already. Then what? Then, like that.
No, but then maybe you might be surprised to find out like normal for us as us layman people, normal average people, for us is like Oh, Indian got Indian genes You Malay, you
Correct.
Malay, you got Malay genes. We don't go too nitpicky into our genetic formulations to understand it. So you might be, maybe for all you know, maybe you might have okay. You say you are Malay. I see say what?
Malay, yeah.
Malay. You absolutely look zero like a Malay. So I don't know. Maybe you take the test. Sekali you find out maybe you have Italian blood or Japanese
Prince
genes.
of Persia.
Or Japanese genes, or you may never know what. Konnichiwa.
Yo!
Laita konnichiwa.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, so yeah, like that interesting. So just now we... Oh yeah, I also actually got notes, but I'm not referring to it. Don't know why. 24 minutes. Okay.
We now have to be a bit more anal about it, especially when our Edward is not here.
You want to skip already and go to Singapore? Or you still want to talk about this one, human beings in general?
We can skip to Singapore in part 2 lah.
Oh, part 2. Okay, can.
Then what, you still just have few couple of
That's why
minutes left.
Oh, this one.
Which one? That one.
Because the research, right, all got a lot of words that are very cheap.
Yeah, any normal person reading it, you would get confused. Like for example, you read one text, right? You would definitely, out of that text, you would definitely have to Google a few words. What does this mean?
Correct.
And that would open up another whole new different wormhole.
Okay, let's not put the type of human species it is lah. Okay, so just now you started with the 6 to 8 million ago.
Yeah.
Years ago, the humans were like actually derived from the chimpanzee era. So 4 to 5 million years ago, emergence of early human ancestors in Africa. That one 4 or 5 million ago. So if you go 2-3 million ago, that Lucy lah. So the first humans the first species that
touched down,
that first use tools. Like chisel, hammer, all this is
Neanderthals.
2.3.
I think that
Homo habilis. And 1.8 million to 70,000 years ago,
Homo erectus.
Yes. So they use advanced tool and control of fire. So maybe that's when they start to barbecue, slow roasting and stuff.
So fun fact, just a fun fact that I for some reason have in the back of my head. Homo erectus. The word erectus is because prior to these specific genetic human beings, right?
You know, serious?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So the reason why the Homo erectus came was before them, right? A lot of these homogeneous ancestors, right? They were all sort of like hunchback. So the Homo erectus came about is because their genetic mutation, they are built sort of like erected.
Oh, okay.
So that is the reason why they put it as Homo erectus.
Okay, so after the erectus, then came the Homo sapiens. 200,000 years ago, modern humans appear in Africa. Though they migrate out of Africa, replacing or coexisting with other human species, such as Neanderthals.
Yes.
Neanderthals sounds like some Lord of the Rings shit. Okay, anyway, 10,000 years ago, development of agriculture. Also, they only recently started.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then societal hierarchies is like 5,000 years ago.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, interesting. Okay, I think this one is too dry lah.
Yes.
I also don't want to read lah.
Anyway, it's just something to how to say, like,
interesting lah.
Yeah, it piques your interest a bit lah.
But if lah, you are interested.
Yes, but stay tuned for part 2 where we will touch about ancestry in local context.
Context.
Stay tuned.
How Teh Tarik came about.
You tarik the tea. Okay, cheers.
Bye.
Interesting.
But also got this joke last time.
What if you saw some other animal? What do we call it? Is it?
No. This one is the prince is standing. He asked the advisors, "What animal is that?" Then they don't know, so they ask the locals. Then the local happened to be an Indian. Singa poda. Singapore. Singapore. So Singapore.
Become Singapore lah.
Singapore. Come Singapore.